Hi there. Welcome to Writing Your Introduction. I am Professor Dawn Wooten and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to discuss writing your introduction, hooks, background, and the thesis statement. First, let's begin with general essay structure. Your introduction with thesis comes first, then your body paragraphs, your conclusion, and then your works cited or reference page. It depends on if you're using MLA or APA. MLA is a works cited, APA is a reference page. Writing an effective thesis has 3 steps. You identify a narrowed topic, you create a clear position that you as the writer are taking, and you have arguable, provable claims. For further information on writing an effective thesis statement, check out my channel for the Writing a Thesis video. So the introduction starts with a hook. That's the first sentence of the introduction. Its purpose is to draw your reader in and get them interested in what it is you are writing about. You can use multiple strategies for the first sentence. You can use a surprising statistic. And I'm just going to use the general topic of homeschooling. American homeschooling has doubled since the COVID pandemic. That's an actual fact that can be proven, but it might surprise some people. You can begin with a useful definition. Homeschooling follows a routine schedule, curriculum that matches local and state requirements, and still allows flexibility for students with special needs. You could use this definition if you want to differentiate between a paper on homeschooling versus unschooling, which is a completely different topic. But a useful definition helps give your reader the information they need to know what it is they're reading about. You can use important information from history. Homeschooling was the only schooling until the mid-1800s in America. Most of our founding fathers were homeschooled or self-taught. You can start with an important social aspect. Oftentimes, families choose to homeschool to add religious education for their children. This is a very common reason for homeschooling versus using public or private schooling. You can also talk about relevance to an issue. Homeschooling greatly reduces a child's chances of being adversely affected by bullying. If the main argument that you're trying to make is child safety in the choice to homeschool, this would be a great hook. Once you have your hook done, you want to go ahead and move on to background information. It is essential to provide your reader with a frame of reference, meaning information that helps the reader determine how your paper will be approached, perceived, or understood. This can be accomplished by providing background information. It can be general history about the topic. You can provide specific data that draws the reader toward your thesis statement. You can use anecdotes or allegories, short stories, or examples. You can use quotes from an expert in the field, and you can either find that in the research you've done for the paper, or it could be a completely separate quote from that person's biography or a book they've written. You can also offer definitions of terminology. For the example of homeschooling, when we talk about curriculum, it might be useful to define what that means, because not every person knows what curriculum is. It's not just about what you learn. It's about the books you're going to use. It's about the teaching methods you're going to use. It is about how you're going to evaluate your students' success in learning the material, etc. So offering a definition of terminology can also be incredibly useful. The last sentence of the introduction should be the thesis statement. As you become a more sophisticated academic writer, you may find that your thesis statement doesn't appear till maybe the second paragraph. However, We're not there yet, so let's just for simplicity's sake, the thesis statement is always the last sentence of your introduction. And your thesis statement must meet specific criteria. You present your clear and narrow topic. You're offering your position on the topic. You're providing arguable claims. It must be one coherent sentence rather than multiple sentences. There are going to be maybe YouTube videos out there or teachers who use different textbooks where they might suggest that the thesis statement can be more than one sentence. But in order to make sure that it is easily digestible, that it is clear and concise, it needs to be one sentence. And it must appear as the last sentence of the introduction. The thesis works to not only tell your reader what they will be reading about, but also why you're writing it, your position, and how you intend to prove your point through your claims. The thesis also provides a roadmap to show your reader the organization of your paper. The order of the body paragraphs is the same order as the claims in the thesis statement. Those things must match. Now, if you get into the drafting process and find that you're not exactly following the order of the claims in the thesis because your paper flows better if maybe claims 1 and 3 are closer together, don't totally reorganize your paper. Just flip the claims in the thesis. Way easier, way faster, and it accomplishes the exact same thing. So once you get your introduction written, the first paragraph after your introduction should be the first paragraph discussing your first arguable claim. Arguable claims must be fully developed, meaning a single paragraph is not going to do the trick. Make sure that you have a minimum of 2 to 3 paragraphs for each claim so that you are fully analyzing it, fully offering evidence for it, and handling it from multiple angles. The body paragraphs after that should follow the order of the claims in the thesis statement. End with your conclusion after the body paragraphs are complete. And don't forget your in-text citation and works cited page so that you avoid a charge of plagiarism. Those citations must be used, whether you use a direct quote, a paraphrase, or a summary. In all 3 instances, a citation must be used if you borrowed material. It doesn't matter if you paraphrase it in your own words. The ideas belong to the original author, so you must give them a citation. Thanks for watching our video on how to write a really good introduction. If you have any questions, reach out to your professor or teacher. And if you're one of my students, I'll look for your email. This is Professor Wooten. Have a great night.